The past couple days we've been taking our math sentences, our word sentences, and making them into math sentences, and we're just going to continue doing that today. So, quick question. When you see something like this and you put things together and combining them, what operation are we doing? Let's say you have 10 M&Ms and you have 10 M&Ms and you have 10 M&Ms, and we're putting them together. What are we doing? We're adding. That's adding. So we're going to be looking for keywords. Combined, how much does the class have? We're adding. Now, if we want to know how much more or how much less, okay? Let's say I'm 73 years old. No one thinks that's funny? That's awesome. Say I'm 73 years old, and let's say my wife is 75 years old, and I want to know how much older she is. What is that? What operation is that? Subtraction. Okay? If we're putting things together in equal groups, so if you have 10 candy bars, and 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 you have 10 candy bars, okay? And what we're doing is they're all equal groups. And we want to find out how much altogether there is. What are we doing if they're all equal groups? What operation is that? It's multiplication. And then if we have a big pile of candy bars and I want to say that you get 5 and 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 5, everybody gets the same amount, what is that? Division. So when we are working with these problems and you see certain, these are key words you want to look for. How much less or how much more? Putting together, combining, equal groups, adding together equal groups. That's all you're going to be looking for, those keywords. So we're going to have problems that look like this. It says Lake Superior is the largest lake in North America. A stands for the area in square miles of Lake Superior. Lake Erie has an area of 9,910 square miles. We need to write an expression to show how much larger Lake Superior is. Okay? How much larger? What does that mean? You know that what I just had in there is in your book. Like, yeah. It's on page 59. Everything I do up here is always in your book. You hear the phrase, how much larger? What operation are we looking for? Logan. Subtraction. So we have subtraction. We also have A, and we also have 9,910. We have to write an expression. What do we do? Good. Why do you put A first? Okay. But what if it didn't say Lake Superior first? Why are we choosing A as to go first? Austin. Lake Superior is larger. A minus 9,910. Now, here's what happens. 6th graders, here's what happens. Mr. Eichmann, I really want to solve this problem. And I guarantee you, tomorrow you're going to do this, or I'm going to have somebody come up later today and ask me, Mr. Eichmann, I don't know how to solve this. Or some of you are just going to come up with a number and you're going to say equals 5,621. And you're just going to come up with a number. And I'm going to say, well, how did you get that number? And you're going to go, I don't know. You can't solve this problem. Why can't you solve it? Meredith. It doesn't give us a number we can deal with. It gives us a letter, and the letter represents a number. Once we know what that letter represents, then we can solve the problem. But for now, we can't do it. And we don't even have to put an equal sign. We don't have to do anything, because here's the question. The question says, write an expression. Did we write an expression? Yeah, we're done. We don't have to do anything else. That's it. So don't freak out when you can't solve the problem, because you've actually already solved it because you've answered the question. Does that make sense? What is going on now? Uh-oh. I'm missing it. We'll have to do this. Okay. Let P represent the number of colored pencils in a box. Okay? So, I got a box of pencils. Okay? Except I got 26 boxes of this. And I want to know how many total colored pencils do I have. What operation am I doing? Rosie? I'm multiplying. I'm multiplying. So I got P, and I got 26, and I'm multiplying. So I go what? P times 26? Technically, is that right? How else should it be written? Because I'm a pain, right? I'm a pain. What do I want? How do I want it written? Jackson. 26P. Number, letter right next to each other. Okay? Nope, can't do it that way. Nile River is the world's longest river. Let N stand for the length of miles in the Nile. The Parana River is 3,030 miles long. Write an expression to show how much longer the Nile is than the Parana. Okay? Well, what operation am I doing? How much longer? What does that mean? Subtraction. So I got subtraction. I've got this number, and I got N. What goes first? Austin. N minus 3,030. Why do we know that that goes first? And the Nile's the bigger one. All right. Notice all of these examples. Did I put an equal sign? Did I put an equal sign? No. Did I try and solve them? Then don't try and solve them. Okay. I'm going to skip this one too because that's the same thing. Now, other part of your homework, you're going to end up with things like this. We got addition. There are different ways to write this and say this in words. We got, what's the most obvious? If I asked you, what does this say? What would you say? You would say 37 plus 28. What's another way to say that? That's pretty much the same. It's just you're switching the words, switching the numbers around. How about 28 more than 37? How about, and even better because you're using the vocabulary, the sum of 28 and 37. Okay? You're going to be asked, write this in 3 different ways. And those are the ways you're going to have to do it. So we got 28 added to 37, 37 plus 28, the sum of 37 and 28, and 28 more than 37. Okay? So, someone tell me, what's another way to say that? Or what's one way to say that? Meredith. X plus 28. Someone give me another one. Jackson. 28 plus x. Don't just switch them around, okay? Because I'm not going to count that as good. Did everyone hear that? Raise your hand if you heard that. Don't just switch them around because I'm not going to count it. Okay? What's another way to say that, Austin? The sum of x and 28. Give me another way. Espen. 28 added to x. Give me another one. Or 28. 28 more than x. Okay? Oops. So 28 more than x. So we got subtraction. How would you say that? Rosie. $90 minus 12. What's another way to say it? Tyler. Be careful about the order, because that's different. How about 12 less than 90? Yeah, we got to be careful about the order, because subtraction makes a big difference. So we can say 12 less than 90. What's another thing you could do? Does anyone remember what the answer to a subtraction problem is? What is it? Difference of 90 and 12. Good job. Okay, so we got 12 subtracted from 90. Notice it's from 90. 90 minus 12. The difference of 90 and 12. 12 less than 90. Be careful when you do subtraction because order matters. Take away 12 from 90. So, let's go. 3 ways to say that one. What's 1? Meredith. No, because that's the wrong order, right? You're not taking k away from 12, are you? What are you taking? What are you? You're taking 12 away from k. So you would say 12 subtracted from k. Give me another one. 12 less than k. Give me another one. Jackson. The difference of k and 12. And the most obvious one, the one that we didn't even say, is k minus 12. So we got multiplication. What are some ways to say this? Logan. What's a way to say that? No, 8 times 48. So we got 8 times 48. Give me another way to say it. Do you remember what the answer to a multiplication problem is? Jackson? Yes. The product of 8 and 48. Okay? I've also heard people say 8 groups of 48. So we got 8 times 48. 48 multiplied by 8. So you could say multiplied by instead of times, or the product of 8 and 48. Okay? So we also have that. 8 groups of W, product of 8 and W. W multiplied by 8, 8 times W. With division, there's only 2. There's only 2 ways to say it. What's 1? The most obvious. Craig? Other way around. $327 divided by 3. You got to remember the answer to a division problem, Espen. What is it? The quotient of 327 and 3. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, on your homework, if you guys show up here and someone says 327 over 3, I'm going to mark it wrong. It's not 327 over 3. This is 327 divided by 3. Top to bottom, 327 divided by 3. Okay? So, you're going to have problems like this. It says write each phrase as a numerical or algebraic expression. So, you're going to do this. 987 minus 12. It's that easy. Okay? It doesn't even say solve it. You don't even have to solve it. It just says write it as a numerical algebraic expression. Okay? X times 45. I'm willing to bet a Twix bar that somebody tomorrow will come here with this. As many times as I've said it, I'm willing to bet someone would do that. What would we do? What's the right way? You could, but I don't like it. 45x. Yeah. No buts. Yes. Y divided by 22. Let's look at this one. I know. Okay, wait. 42 less than 79. What's the order? No. It is not 42 minus 79. 79 minus 42. Y divided by 22. Tell me it as a fraction. What over what? What goes on top, the Y or the 22? The Y. Top to bottom, you read it top to bottom. Y over 22. Okay? I can't do that. Also, you're going to have to write two phrases, so you're going to have to write this in words. So you'd have to say 16 divided by B. Remember, top to bottom. Okay? So out of your math book, I want you to do page 60 to 61, 12 to 34 all, and then I also want you to do number 36.